Hey guys, welcome back to the next episode of the Loren's Life podcast. We are outside in my garden today. It's a beautiful day. It's like 26 degrees, I want to say. And yeah, I just thought I would change the location up, film outside, and just make it a bit different compared to the last one. So I have a topic for today's podcast, and it's a topic that I really wanted to post for July because it's something that I can relate to this month. So the topic for this podcast is FOMO, or the fear of missing out. And I'm going to apply it to sort of small business and how it affects my life. But you guys can obviously apply it to different situations in different things that happen to you. So the fear of missing out is essentially exactly what it sounds like. It is that sort of feeling that you are being left behind, or that you're jealous, or some other sort of you just get the feeling when something's happening that you want to be involved in and unfortunately you can't be involved in it, or you've missed something, and it's that feeling that we're going to be speaking about today. My first sort of section is, what if I'm missing out? So in terms of small businesses, have you ever looked at a small business and thought, what if I should have done that? I should have done the same thing. You see them doing all these opportunities and you think I should have applied for that, like new markets that come up that you might not have seen and things like that. So one of the things that I wanted to touch on is sort of FOMO in a small business. So a lot of the things that I see propping up on social media is stuff like when people apply for markets, they get into markets, and people, other small businesses are like, I didn't even know that this was a market, I didn't know it existed, I wish I had applied for it. So the thing that's been on my mind around FOMO and running a small business, there's a car starting up, but I'm hoping the mic has not picked that up. Anyway, we'll carry on. The thing that's been on my mind about FOMO and running a small business is how I am losing out on opportunities because of other commitments that I've made in my life, and what I need to do to keep living my life. I run, obviously I'll touch on this a bit later, but I obviously run my small business alongside my full-time job, and that can sort of impact me and my business and basically prevent it from growing, because I've got to a point where I need to spend more time on my business and less time working, but I need to work to pay my bills. So I'm at this sticky point where the fear of missing out is that I feel like I could do more, but I can't. So it's not necessarily that I'm jealous of other people, it is more that I feel like I'm missing out on the opportunities that could present themselves to me because my energy and my focus is somewhere else. And that's been really quite difficult actually, to sort of navigate and problem solve. Part of my job is problem solving. So it's that sort of feeling that hasn't been great and I'm not really enjoying it. But there are other types of FOMO that small businesses get when you look at other businesses and what they're doing and how they're doing. Yeah, I just feel like there are different types of FOMO that you can get from running a small business and seeing other small businesses being so successful. Another sort of thing that I am feeling like I'm missing out on is that a lot of businesses have gone to Stationery Fest this weekend. I've seen vlogs about people prepping for it and getting ready to go, and all my small business friends are excited and ready to go. And this isn't the first time that I've experienced going to an event where my friends are selling, and unfortunately I've not had that opportunity to. So I'm kind of not new to this feeling, but also at the same time it does sort of feel a little bit, not sad, I'm not sad about it, it just feels like I'm being left out just a little bit, not massively, just a little bit. And it's no one's fault, no one's purposely trying to leave me out or anything like that. I don't want anyone to feel like that. It's just obviously when you see your friends getting ready and they're doing all these things, or prepping for Stationery Fest and getting ready for Stationery Fest, and I'm not, it kind of then makes you feel a bit weird. I don't know how else to describe it. But then on the flip side of that, I was speaking to a good friend of mine actually last night, and she's going to Stationery Fest, and I can't wait to see her. But she asked me how I was feeling, sort of seeing all these things popping up on social media, and yeah, we kind of had a chat about it. And actually, the thing that I sort of feel surrounding this is kind of a little bit of a relief that I am not in the position where I'm stressing. When you prep for markets, there is an inevitable stress for getting things ready. And I haven't had to deal with that this summer. And there's been a lot that's happened with me. Obviously, I'm doing some stuff for my business right now. I'm doing a pre-order for the Kickstarter collection and trying to navigate figuring out the Kickstarter because everything's delayed. And I am working a full-time job over the summer as a supervisor, so that's been kind of stressful. And yeah, so it's been nice not to have that stress. And also financially, the past few years that I've done Stationery Fest, I have spent a lot of money on making my stall look the way it is and changing some things, making new displays, buying new displays. And yeah, I've not had to deal with that this year, which has kind of been quite nice actually. Quite nice to not have to worry about dealing with that sort of anxiety and worry and financial worry as well. So that's been good. One of the sort of subjects I want to cover is the fact that you can apply for a market, not get in, and being able to lose that market. So Stationery Fest for me is a big chunk of income for my business. It's one of the biggest events that I usually do in a year. So this year, not having that means I've had to make up the money somewhere else, make up the income somewhere else, which is fine. Obviously businesses, that's what we do. But that was sort of a little bit of worry for me because it can obviously generate a large chunk of my small business income. Now I don't pull any money out of my business, but I need money coming in to maintain my business. And you can't maintain a business if you don't have the money coming into you. So that was one of the things I had to try and navigate about not getting into this market. I really wanted to go. Stationery Fest is one of my favourite events of the year. It is the biggest event, like I said, that I usually do. I get to see all of my friends that I don't get to see very often because they live all across the UK. And yeah, I love the event so much, and Bex, who organises it, does a fantastic job of making sure that the marketing is up together and everyone's happy. And yeah, it's just such a lovely event. This year we are going as attendees. Me and Mum are just going up there for the day. We are travelling up there actually tomorrow morning, and then we are going on Saturday to the event. So I'm going to film a little bit of that and show you guys sort of my journey and my trip as an attendee rather than a stall holder. But yeah, that's obviously something that I really wanted to be involved in, and unfortunately this year I've not had that opportunity. But next year we'll apply again and hopefully we'll get into it next year. So that kind of leads me on then to the whole thing about my sort of business, my page, Loren's Life page, is running my business alongside a full-time job. Now, I work 40 hours a week on a 3-on 3-off pattern, and I basically eat, sleep, work, rest. And then on my rest days are the days I do small business work. Sometimes I do work after work, which makes no sense. Sometimes I have points in the day in my shift where I can do little things from my laptop or from my iPad whilst I'm at work, which I appreciate is something that not many people can do. So I love that about my job. But yeah, juggling a small business alongside a full-time job is really difficult. And I hope that no one actually asks me how am I doing it, because to be honest, I couldn't give you an answer. I'd love to be able to tell you that I have a structure in place and I pre-record things and I pre-make things and I make sure that everything is up to a schedule, but that does not happen. That's never happened for me. I tend to go through phases leading up to sort of events that I will like plan content before, but I'm not one of these people who would have every week it all set out, because I don't have a week in my life. Because I work a 3 on 3 off pattern, a week to me looks very different to a week in a normal person's regular routine. My week basically consists of 6 days. 3 days of them I'm working. Yeah, it's hard to be able to sort of pre-make content and schedule content. But you know, we are doing it. We are 6 years down the line now, and we're still going. So that's got to be some sort of achievement. So sort of relating everything back to the topic of FOMO, one of the things on social media is that I feel like social media can also make FOMO for small businesses worse. So it is difficult to see things on social media and then compare yourself to them, or realise that you're missing out on those things because you've seen it on social media. So social media also has a big part of everyone's lives, and you can get into this sort of like hole of scrolling through social media, seeing what everyone's up to, seeing what small businesses are doing, like why isn't your business doing the same thing? And yeah, I think in terms of social media, it is a tool that can make things seem worse than they are. My sort of tip for you guys, in terms of if you are feeling like this, or feeling like you're missing out on opportunities with small business life or in life in general, maybe take a step back from social media a little bit. That's kind of what I've done these past couple of months whilst people are prepping. Don't get me wrong, I've been loving videos, watching videos, people getting ready. But I, especially at the start when everyone was announcing that they were going, that I kind of stepped away from social media for those couple of days, because I knew that it would only last a couple of days. People put out their announcements all in the same day. Once one person starts, it then like tends to snowball. So yeah, I stepped back from Instagram for a couple of days whilst everyone was getting their announcements up, because I felt sad that I didn't get in. But yeah, I think you just got to do what's right for you and do what you think is going to help your mental health and your mental state. And if that means taking a couple of days off Instagram and social media, then no one's going to judge you for that. And yeah, that is sort of my little tip to you guys. If you are seeing a lot of things on social media at the moment that you are comparing yourself to, or that is making you upset, just know that it doesn't last forever, and like opportunities come and go, and one day it might be you having that opportunity that is making someone else feel like that. But you shouldn't let that put you down, because everyone is on their own journey and on their own business journey, and just means that you haven't got to that point in your timeline yet, which is fine. In terms of the fear of missing out, is it really the fear of missing out, or is it the fear of falling behind? So for me, it's the fear that the businesses that are going to Stationery Fest this year, every year it gets bigger and better, and if you're not there to present yourself and your business, you're then falling behind. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone, or whether that's just what's in my brain. But yeah, it's just, I feel like if I was there this year, more eyes would be seen on my business. It's another step forward. After these events, you tend to get more followers, like an increase in followers, an increase in orders after, and sort of you get known by different people. And yeah, I think it's that sort of like falling behind thing that is what I'm struggling the most. Yeah, that is kind of basically what I need to say in this podcast. I do want to just touch on the opportunities that I have been lucky to have had. I have organised my own market, and that was really successful. I did the Kickstarter, that was also really successful. These are things that I touched in my last podcast as well, about things that I'm grateful for. Also the fact that I can put this time into my business in terms of like the launch and things and new products, and I'm gonna hopefully get ahead of my autumn collection, which I'm currently designing, and get that sort of up and ready. So if I was prepping for Stationery Fest, or if I was doing something for another market, I wouldn't have had that time to do those things. So actually the opportunities, although they're different this year, doesn't necessarily mean that they are worse than previous years, because hopefully the things that I'm doing now will improve and grow my business and get new customers seeing my stuff. You just got to find those different routes and those different avenues of getting those people to you, rather than dwelling on the fact that you could have seen all of those people. I know obviously I just said that I fear that I'm falling behind, but at the same time as that, I now need to take that fear and press it into something else and put my energy into finding a different route and finding a different path to get to where I want to go. So yeah, that has been really great for me. One of the biggest things is I'm trying to learn to accept that you can't do everything. Working as many hours as I do, doing my small business, running a market, I do two businesses at the same time, and I now have an employee. I can't do everything, and it's one of the things I've really struggled with my whole life. I do a lot, and if you meet me in person and you kind of get me talking, you'll know that I just don't stop. Sleep, I don't have sleep. So I need to learn the lesson that I can't do everything all the time, and I do need to take a break at some point, which I will do this year, I promise, before I burn out, obviously. But yeah, that is kind of something that I just want to let you guys know, like, it's something that I'm trying to work on, and hopefully you guys can work on it as well. So a couple of things that I am going to do now to sort of overcome this fear of missing out and accept that these things are happening. Number one is that I'm going to find other ways of getting to where I need to go, finding new opportunities. One of the things I'm really excited about this year is that I am working with another business who runs events, and I am sponsoring that event as part of Creating Co. And that is something we've never done before. We've never done anything like it, so it's a learning curve, definitely. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having that opportunity for Creating Co. and learning how to sort of manage that. One of the things I'm going to do is that although I can't go to Stationery Fest this year as a seller, I'm going as an attendee, and I'm also not stopping my small business just because there is Stationery Fest happening. I am doing a pre-order tomorrow for the Coastal Coast collection, which is coming tomorrow at 6 p.m. British Summer Time. And you can get all the goodies that are from the Kickstarter now through my website on a pre-order. So things are still going ahead, even though I'm not a Stationery Fest, which has taken a minute to try and navigate to make sure I don't feel like I'm doing the wrong thing. But my business is still there, it's still working, it's still live, so I still need to work on it. Get away! There's a fly. I should not have filmed out here. And yeah, like I said, the time that I had that I should have been working on going to this market, I have used to work on other things. I have used to promote the pre-launch. I have used to start working on my autumn collection, and me and my sister have worked really hard on the Creating Co marketing. She goes away on her honeymoon for 2 weeks, and she is my main social media content creator, and so we've been working hard to get some content pre-booked and scheduled while she's away, so that page keeps going and keeps uploading stuff while she's away. So that is time that I've used wisely, and have been able to manage the things that I needed to get done, basically. That is sort of everything that I wanted to say for this podcast. I know it's been a little bit different. I would love to hear your thoughts on the fear of missing out, and if there's any sort of events or opportunities that have happened recently to you that you feel like you've missed out on, and how you overcome those things, and how what you're doing now to sort of manage that. I would love to know. So let me know down in the comments. And if you have any ideas for any other podcasts or subjects that you want me to sort of cover and chat about, please let me know as well. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed July's podcast, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.